Hey everybody, Steve here from Steve's Garage. Here I am in front of my garage. Thank you for coming back and seeing me. This is one of my hot rods here. This is the first hot rod I ever built. And it's another beautiful day here in Western Mass, so I'm glad you're here to see this. I have behind me what I'm calling a barn find because it was last run 37 years ago, and it's been parked in the guy's basically his basement, part of his house. He's got a garage door under there, and parked there since 1987. And I first went and talked to him. I actually did a job at his house years ago as a contractor, probably about 13, 14 years ago. I don't know exactly how long. And I saw this car, and I said, are you interested in selling it? And he said, no, I don't want to sell it. You know, it's my parents, and you know, sentimental value. You guys know all about that. You fall in love with these things and you don't want to get rid of them. They're fine just to look at, even if they're not running. So every 3, 4, 5 years I just run into him and I'd say, hey, you ready to sell that car yet? And he wasn't ready. And so finally, a few months back, I ran into him at a store and I said, hey, you ready to sell that car yet? And he said, yes. So I went up and visited him. We made a deal, and I've got it in the barn behind me. So without any further ado, let's take a look and see what we got. All right. Whoa! Damn it, Earl. How many times I tell you to stop sneaking up on me like that? What you doing, boy? Boo. Boo to you, too. Earl's always playing tricks on me. So here we have it. This is a 1930 Model A Ford in as found condition. This is a restoration that was done in the I think it was the 60s, he said. And so, you know, we've got it here, and I'm going to take care of this baby. I'm going to slowly wake it up. And but let's take a look at it. This is the Roadster Deluxe 1930. All the bells and windows. Oh yeah, bells and windows. Bells and whistles. Has the wing windows. There's your interior. I mean, the interior is in amazing condition for the way it was. I can show you the sticker on here, and that sticker says 1987. That's the last time this thing was driven, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, there's no rust, you know, anywhere. It's just just odds and ends, dirt and debris. I haven't cleaned it, haven't touched it. It is as is for now, but of course I'm going to clean it up. I am not going to restore it or touch it in any way, except for just, you know, clean it and make the paint shine a little bit. The roof is in pretty good condition for what it is. You know, it wasn't ripped up or anything. I had it up. I actually put it down to show you guys the car so you can see it a little better. It has the trunk, luggage rack, and here's the trunk that goes on the luggage rack. And the interesting thing about this luggage rack is my, I think it's second cousin, it's my father's cousin. He made these racks in his machine shop, and he sold them all over the country. So, you know, it needs a little oil, and I haven't touched it. But he made these in his shop, and I just think that's so cool that I have a piece of history that's literally family history here. And here's their Western Mass Model A Ford restorers, and founded in 1961. So that plate's on there. I'll keep that on there with pride, although I'm not a member, but I'm going to reach out to them and See if they're still around. I have no idea. And here it is. It's just a beautiful car. I can't believe the condition it's in. I did already take the battery out, because this battery is 37 years old. I'm charging up another one that I had in stock. And I got a little electric wiper motor on it. Horn and lights. It's got the spare tires on both sides with the covers and the accessory mirror. Got the, I don't know if those are called fog lights or not, but set of fog lights, the Auga horn, the front, beautiful headlights there, and what a great car, really. Amazing condition. In my little shop of horrors. This is the other side of my barn, which I basically just keep things in and work on motorcycles and stuff. So the only thing I've done to it so far is the distributor was all torn apart. So we had new points and condenser. It's the new style new style points, which I'm not a real fan of. So the other condenser would go down in here, and it puts pressure on the bottom plate, which keeps the ignition wire, which is on a spring, which is right here, puts pressure on the plates on the new style points and condenser, and it can bend those plates, and the plate can, you know, ground out or short out on the body of the distributor and give you a lot of trouble. So we'll see how it goes. I may change it back to the other stuff. But so that's all I did, was took the plugs out, cleaned everything up. I am going to retorque the head. I put water in it, and it is holding water and not leaking for now. Again, for now, everything's sat so long. So I got to put a little more water in it. I put it in a cell running into the body of the engine. I just put it in, but there's none on the ground, so it's not leaking. So I gotta add a little more water. I did take out the old oil and put new oil in, and the oil was pretty darn clean. Had a tiny bit of moisture in the bottom of it, so either from sitting 37 years, a little from the water jacket leaked through the head gasket. But we'll wait and see. Not a big deal. Doesn't affect these motors that much unless you have a real blowout in the head gasket, but it can be repaired. So this is it. Another walk around. It's in such good condition, really, for 1930. Not a lot of room in here to get big side shots. I think what I'll do is put the roof up so you can see the roof. Shut this. So yeah, I've been after this guy for a lot of years, and you know, he finally thought it would be going to a good home, especially with the story of how my second cousin there, who actually is a whole other story, because he died, I believe he was 101 years old. And come on, this might be a two-man job. There you go. So anyway, my second cousin, Warren, he was like the head honcho with the Model A club here, and this gentleman I bought this car of knew him very well, and told me how he made that, the trunk luggage rack. And when I was over Warren's house, I did his kitchen over for him when he was 95, believe it or not. Him and his wife Helen wanted their kitchen done over, and I did it over when they were 90. He was 95 years old, so it was like 8 years ago now, because he passed away at 101. So I'm working on his kitchen one day, and the door opens up to the kitchen, and this old gentleman walks in. I would have thought he was maybe in his, mid-80s, but at the time he was 97, and this was Warren's brother, who's also, a cousin of mine, second cousin, and so we got to introduce. I never met him before, and Warren and his brother told the story of how my grandfather, who was the president of the Teamsters Union, Local 404, at Moordrop Forge Company in Springfield, Massachusetts. And Moordrop Forge made Craftsman tools, okay? And my father was a die sinker for Craftsman tools. He made the blocks of steels that had the wrench, carved half of the wrench in one half of the block of steel, half of the wrench in the other block of steel, and boom, it was slammed down, called drop forging, because it was the drop shop, they called it. These huge hammers with a spinning wheel, and then boom, boom, boom. It would slam onto red hot steel that they would stick in there, and boom, 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 and out would come the wrench with the slag all around the edges and stuff. Then it would go to another die where it would be cut clean and then move on and eventually get chromed, So Warren said that after World War II, that he was very thankful because my grandfather got all those guys jobs at Moordrop Forge making Craftsman tools. Now, as time went on, Warren and his brother, I think two of his brothers, started their own machine shop, and they did everything, and they also made these trunks, these luggage racks. At the time, you couldn't get luggage racks for these cars. He said they made over 300 of them and shipped them all over the country. And I thought that was an amazing story when I heard it, but I never knew that someday I'd eventually have a vehicle that had one of his racks on it. So it's just amazing the way this whole story's come together. So, to make a long story short, so here comes his brother, who's 97 years old, and also Warren, 95. I'm working on his kitchen, doing my thing, with one of my guys, and all of a sudden I look out the back windows. The kitchen's in the back of the house, and opens up a garage door back there, and out comes a Model A. It's one of the big, I don't know what model it was. I remember seeing it, but it was the 4-seater where the convertible top came all the way down, so it was like an open car, And so here's this guy's 97 in the passenger seat. Warren was 95 in the driver's seat, and they're leaving out of the backyard and driving about 10 miles down into the city to be in the Veterans Day parade. So, I was blown away, but the energy of these guys at 95 and 97 and taking an old Model A out that they have all this faith in on this day was just something to really, really see and really be proud of. And that's, the Ford Model A. It's still huge in America. There's a huge fan base, huge clubs. I couldn't be more proud to own one, and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not touching it. I'm leaving it pure because I think it just has to stay that way. I couldn't look at it and see any other way. There's no way I would even touch this thing. It's just a piece of Americana, piece of history. It's 100% Henry Ford, and I'm very proud. So there you have it. This is my barn find, but again, it hasn't run in 37 years. I got a battery charging. I've got the engine, I timed it with the special timing tool they sell, where you go 2 times clockwise and you end up on the 4th cylinder on the distributor cap. Those of you guys who know about that understand exactly what I'm talking about. It makes timing these very simplistic. There's a little pin on the motor you take out, turn around, push in, turn the motor to, it's a little dimple in there, and then that goes in, you're at top dead center. So it's really very simplistic. And that's the beauty of these things. Just to work on them is, I always compare it to a lawnmower. People are like, what's it like? It's almost as simple as a lawnmower engine, really. I mean, it just has 4 cylinders. It's just very, very simple, but what a piece of machinery. So there you have it. That's my barn find story, and I hope you enjoyed that story because it's a great one. These are old guys from World War II that made craftsman tools, and it doesn't get any more American than that, people. God bless us, all right? So there you have it. So on behalf of me and Earl, tell them what you think. Boo! All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, drive slow, wear your safety belts, and use your blinkers, and give your dog a nice pet for me. Have a good one. Bye.